I'm of course testing all of our new dares, and a new dare that I'm testing right now is around buying nothing for a period of time.
Hello, thank you for checking out Earth Care. Today we're catching up with Lars Ronning, the co-founder of the Ailuna app. This is just so cool. Have you ever used a training app? Okay, so you know how on those apps you can set goals, accept challenges, and then the app will send you tips or notifications to motivate you to keep going. So this is that, but for living a more sustainable, environmentally friendly life. A training app that is coaching us to go easier on Mother Nature. Come on, how cool is that? The Ailuna app, launched less than a year ago, already has users in over 50 countries around the globe accepting these challenges to be more eco-friendly. I'm so excited to chat with Lars Ronning and just find out exactly how the Ailuna app works. Lars, thank you so much for being on Earth Care. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you located? Because before the interview started, we were just talking about a time difference, but where actually are you chatting to me from?
So I'm right now working from a small island in Denmark, believe it or not, in the middle of the ocean. So it's a fairly small island with 3,500 people. But until a couple of months ago, I was based in the UK.
Oh, wow. Okay. So are you liking your new location?
I am. I love it, and also it makes sense from an Ailuna point of view to be here because it's a sustainable island. So it's an island where people have been focused on making the whole island go zero carbon for quite a few years.
What?
So that's one of the reasons why we're here.
Okay, that's another interview in itself. We're going to have to
It is.
schedule that afterwards. When we were chatting just through emails about Ailuna, and I had mentioned that I sent it to my family, being like, you got to sign up for this. I have to tell you, if you got a friend request from a woman named Donna Christie, that's my mom. My mom has no social media at all. She doesn't have Facebook, Instagram, but she downloaded this app. And so she doesn't quite know how to navigate friend requests. She doesn't, that's not really her forte. So she sends me a text message going, "Are you Lars?" I was like, "Nope, that's I'm Sarah." So if you got a friend request from my mom, that's who that is.
Oh, fantastic! I actually looked her up, and I realized that she was probably your mom. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I did see her on Ailuna.
Yeah, she's getting the hang of it. We've been chatting back and forth, but this is such a cool and approachable app, Ailuna. Can you just tell me the backstory of what made you want to create this?
Yes, so it very much is because my wife and we decided that we needed to change the way that we live, and that's a couple of years ago. So we wanted to become more sustainable ourselves, but we could not find an app or a platform or community where regular people like ourselves could learn how to adopt new habits, greener habits, one habit at a time. So we decided to build an app, and that is Ailuna. So we are building this for as much for ourselves as we're building it for people just like us who have started making sustainable changes to their life, but are not there yet. So that's the background in a nutshell.
It's so cool because for a lot of us, talking about climate change and figuring out what we can do to help is so intimidating. It's so overwhelming. So this app really is just, it's fun and it's creative and it's approachable and it makes it seem attainable, which is very important. So how does Ailuna work?
Yeah, so Ailuna is structured around what we call dares or personal training programs. So each dare is a training program where you learn one new habit at a time. So, for example, on one habit could be around moving from traditional shampoo to shampoo bars. You would start doing 1 week, then you do another week, then you do 2 weeks, and after a month, chances are pretty good that you will have built this new habit. And it's really important for us that we try to do not a new thing every day, because that doesn't drive behavioral change. This is a matter of doing a new thing for a period of time until it sticks, and then try a new thing, and that way building a more sustainable life altogether.
Wow, wow, that is so cool. I signed up for the it's cool to turn down the heat. That was my first challenge. I think my
Okay.
mom did using a reusable mug. Are you doing a dare right now?
I am actually. I'm of course testing all of our new dares, and a new dare that I'm testing right now is around buying nothing for a period of time, which is really difficult, right? Because we are so used to just buying new stuff all the time. So this dare is about buying nothing, and we'll be launching that in a few weeks' time.
Whoa, what are you doing about food?
Well, food is allowed, but of course,
Okay.
it's about making sensible food purchasing decisions, right? So buying local and buying with less plastic packaging
Yeah.
and so on.
Oh, that is so cool. So for a new user, if this is a completely new concept for them, what are some easier, more approachable challenges that do you think they could start off with?
So I think you already mentioned a couple of them because turn the heating down is definitely easy to get started with. Also, there are a couple of really easy dares around not using single-use cups and bottles. One dare that has become really popular is the shampoo bar dare because people like trying something new like that. And we're helping people find the right shampoo bar for their hair or their scalp condition.
That's what I use. Shampoo bar. Love it. I would
Oh,
never
it
do
is? Oh,
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Me
So
neither. Me neither.
it's so convenient. I think once you get the hang of it, once you get the hang of a lot of these things, a lot of the challenges that are on there, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. And it's very
Yes.
hopeful when,
And I think one thing is really important is also that that when you use an app like Ailuna, that it deals with units that you understand. What I mean is people understand bottles, they understand cups, they understand kilos of CO2, kilos of waste, but they don't really understand CO2.
Mhm.
And that's why in Ailuna, we are dealing with units that people can understand, that people can relate to. Other apps out there will have you do a full CO2 audit for you just to use the app. And that makes a lot of people switch off.
And I know I mentioned at the beginning that you and I connected on the app, my mom and I connected on the app. Um, it's fun because you can connect with your friends so you can encourage one another. Like you can talk to each other and keep each other
Yes,
motivated, which is also really important, especially during a time where we feel kind of disconnected from one another. So that's really
correct.
special.
Yes.
How is Ailuna and all of these habits, how are they beneficial to the environment?
So Ailuna is really all about sustainability in three areas. So it's about sustainability when it comes to fighting waste, plastic waste, for example. If we don't succeed in fighting plastic, by 2050 there will be more kilos or pounds of plastic in the oceans than there'll be fish, and that's pretty scary. The other thing that we're looking at, of course, is carbon footprint. It's climate change. So our dares are designed around helping individuals reduce their carbon footprint, but again, without using carbon as the measurement. And the third thing is around biodiversity, which is really important. So helping people make more informed purchasing decisions that are good for the climate, that are good for biodiversity. So that's what we're trying to achieve with Ailuna.
That is so cool. I'm so excited that an app like this exists. It was such a fun discovery. Lars, if someone came up to you and said, why is this important? Why should we care about living a more environmentally friendly life?
Because if we don't, then we will be drowning in waste, in particular plastic. We will be having issues with global warming, and the climate will be changing. And then also, again, it's about taking care of the biodiversity, the nature around us. That is why we should care.
And when it comes to environmental work, environmental activism, I'm sure living on an island surrounded by sustainability is pretty inspiring. But who has inspired you?
So a few people that absolutely spring to mind. David Attenborough, whom you might know, a BBC journalist who's been covering nature and wildlife for many years. He created Blue Planet and the sequel to Blue Planet. And he also created the next series, which is called Alive on Our Planet, that aired quite recently. Another person is Greta Thunberg, of course. She's an inspiration for all. And then since I'm fairly old, or I'm older, a person like Al Gore has also definitely been an inspiration, because he was one of the people who made the Paris Agreement happen. So there are three really important people for what we're doing. A person like James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, has been a source of inspiration for us.
And the documentary that you mentioned, A Life on Our Planet, I mean, anything David Attenborough, I would recommend watching, but that was so good.
Yes, it is.
I'm excited that Ailuna exists. I'm excited to watch it grow, and I appreciate all of your work and your time and you sharing all of this with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And what I would want everybody to do who listens to the show, of course, is to download Ailuna and try it out. Invite friends and family, and dare friends to take on dares.